Right, good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. We are going to join the ground report live today. Today we was on a little late, a little bit of equipment failure, but we are going to join the ground report live right now. The message must be broadcasted. So we are going now live.
The police never asks for help in an operation. However, they will, on the other hand, ask you to help them, provide them with information in order, of course, to engage. But when the engagement comes, there is no historical or cultural or psychological practice or subtle practice that shows that they ask the population to for help. I know in one or two cases I am familiar with where a police officer will ask someone who maybe who have been passing with their vehicle, and they apprehend someone. They ask them to drop them to the station or whatever it is, that kind of thing. But outside of that, I don't generally the police act as though they are totally in charge, and therefore generate, of course, a kind of distance between the population in terms of assistance there of them and for them.
Right.
And,
We have
and
a next
themselves.
caller, so if I can try to make it a little shorter. Morning, caller.
That's actually possible. Good morning, Andy, Lennox, Mikey, Newbie, and to everybody out there. Andy, my first front burner issue is I want to let you all know this morning that yesterday, after I received those threats about meeting me in the Quasi and what they will do to me, I went to the police station. I made a report in both Santa Cruz and Sawa police station, because now with the crime situation as it is, Andy, right, I don't want to be a statistic, right? I'm telling all of that this morning. I don't want to be a statistic, right? So I went and I made a report yesterday concerning those threats, right? Because who's to know, I'm walking in the market and next thing you know, I am stabbed or I get lashed in my head or something, and that one lash me down, and I will never see my children or anybody else. You understand? So I didn't put. Let's get that out of the way. No, I totally agree with Linda and Mark this morning, right? That HSF fund belongs to Trinidad and Tobago. Why is it that we are only hearing from UNC the money is being spent, asking where the money gone, what so much of money is taken, and we are not hearing anything from the THA, right? Yet some things to get involved in some things. They have to. They can't keep quiet about it. Because no, I'm not saying, we have to gang up. We have to gang up on the government now, because they are doing too many things and they are getting away with it, right? No. Rowley, I don't know if you all remembered when he was opposition leader, he said that the government cannot control crime. They are part of it, right? We have criminals sitting in parliament, and we have criminals on the outside. And when you have criminals in the office, what you expect on the outside? Rowley said all of that is there, and find the tapes and play them. Play them. Now you coming to tell us to pray, sing, and beat back in order to stop, right? If somebody come and attack me now, what should I do? Start singing, praying, or where the beat? Where am I going to find it? These people have no ideas, and yet still you have people defending this nonsense that's going on in this country. I talk about Kamala say blood will flow, but yes, she said it. She also But you see, they have selective memory syndrome. They leave out part of what it is. Kamala said. Kamala said, long PNM is in office, crime is on the increase, and we are seeing it. We are seeing it, and that is people not taking into consideration what is going on in this country. And yes, call it great as the PNM. How PNM ask the parents when the babies died in NICU, ask for the people, families that people already died. How many people have gone missing and nothing been done? You going to come to tell me pray, sing, or beat pan? At least Mrs. Prasad Bisasa was trying to get the youth and them involved in the petitioners. Can they keep them busy? What are you all doing? Laughed at you remember John Sandy, our first Minister of National Security under the partnership. No, yeah, that's John Sandy, right? When he, the mentorship program, the father, I can't remember the name of it, Lennox might remember. They laughed at the man. At least they're trying. What are you all doing? And then the next fool that we have our president saying that pan will help fight crime. We're going to hit them with the pan or with the sticks. No, this place is not normal. This place is not. It's like the Lekoto Jumbi thing. And I want to tell Miss Lahok, the name of the program is not Dumb and Dumber. It's TC and Heavy. Right? And let's get that right. And yesterday, he's getting like how you're hearing everybody, Andy, they're getting fed up of this. You know why? Because of the fact that PNM are doing wrong and they are getting away with it. I've seen that they are getting away with it. They are doing like if they alone. And let me tell you, Andy, when Mrs. Prasad Tessa brought out questions for the Prime Minister, Rowley, as opposition leader, said yes, he liked that. It will keep the government on their toes. No, you can't demand a question. You cannot ask him a question. You are being offensive when you ask him a question. And he's being helped along by the speaker. She don't allow the question to be asked. Kamala used to answer question they put towards her. I know we can't ask this man no question. Lennox, before I leave, Mr. Lahoketa, he'll get in touch with you to help him fix up whatever has to be fixed up. Get onto the program. Take care, guys. Thanks for listening to me. Take care.
Yes, yes, I was in Sandy Grande, in fact, yesterday, and Mr. Valencia, you know, the man who is extremely hilarious when he makes his presentation. I was there and I assisted him, and of course, in get on in his with his smartphone. So I think it's something that we should seriously consider. So those persons who may have some challenges, we try to get people to assist you. Go ahead, caller.
Oh boy. So the lines are open, eh? The number is called 225-6644. 225-6644. I see people was trying to call earlier on while the Santa Cruz was giving his contribution.
147 persons now watching on YouTube. And of course, I want to say to Sabrina, thank you very much. Yes, there was some music in the background, so she asked me to take it out. My apology there. I made an error there. And of course, Daisy is there as well. We have, of course, Trini what? Fasto? Trini Faso. Yes, and then we have, of course, CJ. We have who again? We have Miss Arima. I see it too. So they are chatting as well, Andy, and they're making, of course, their presence felt. Unika is there as well. We have Grace is there. We have, of course, Kalon is also there. We have a Bud, yeah, what is that? Yes, Boomatul, yes.
Bomati. Bomati.
Oh, sorry, I told you that was a L. It's an I, yes, so it's Boomati. Yes, you're familiar.
Yes.
Of course, we have Grace as well, and a number of other persons. Raul is still there, Alex is still there, Kalon is still there, So continue, of course. Yes, it's up to 147 persons watching directly now. Yes, sometimes these things happen, people. My
Nice.
apology for keeping the music associated with the clip. I am using the clip that we put together, Andy, with you, Mikey, and Mikey, and myself. Of course, there's the theme song in the background, but
Nice,
I omitted
nice.
to take it off. So now that is off, I think they're hearing us
Loud and clear.
very clearly now.
Now,
Yes.
people was also asking to give Lennox number. No, y'all, we wouldn't hear you on this side. So those of you that hearing us on Lennox side, the numbers is just one set of numbers that you have to call. The numbers to call is 225-6644, 225-6644, or 239-5120, 239-5120, or give us a WhatsApp call or send a WhatsApp voice note at 366-3053, 366-3053. Okay?
And the number is
So the
flashing,
lines are
it's
open.
flashing now. It's flashing. Those of you on YouTube, it's flashing now. And on Facebook, it's flashing now. So you will see it just below Andy. In the case of this video that we are playing, you will see it at the top right-hand corner, and you'll see all three numbers.
Nice.
So you can call that.
Morning, caller.
Morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I am not hearing you all at all on 104.7 again. What's the problem?
Well, you'll have to adjust us right now. We are only on social media, Real Media TT on Facebook, Real Media TT YouTube, on Corridor Transformation, social media platforms you will have to connect with us with. And on Workers' Right platform. But social media, you will have to connect with us with. So hopefully.
Get your smartphone ready. You could, of course, ask anyone who has a basic idea. You could always plug it into your speaker box or play it through your device or whatever you may have available. But fundamentally we are on social media, only Facebook and YouTube for the time being, and of course at the same time Andy, Mikey, and myself. So yes, and we'll be continuing in that vein until further notice or development.
Okay, caller.
My friend.
All right. So hope you could organize and lock on and get us there.
Yeah, I ain't get my jersey yet.
Don't worry, now, man. Everything going. Look, we have your number. Everything we go in and call you.
Nice, man. And you for Grandy, stay up, brother. Stay up.
Yes, we will. Thanks so much, and thanks so much for locking on to us, man.
Miss Santa Cruz,
Yeah,
number two.
you
Sorry.
I feel like if you know somebody eat all my macaroni pie and I can't get no more when I can't find that station.
Yeah, it's
I
very
hear you. Well, all right, now you know where to get your Sunday lunch, right? On a daily basis.
Yes.
So
just tune in to us. Just tune in to us on social media. You know Real Media TT, and you will get us. So it come like the pie somebody a thief it, but they put it in the fridge, but you ain't know. But now you find out, well, the pie gone from the oven and it gone in the fridge to make sure it preserve itself for you to be able to get that eat.
Right. Yeah, well, who is calling the Tattoo Trace chairman, Alexander?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I try to get through with Councillor Neil these days, but I kind of, what should call it, a hard situation to get him now. Because we want Tattoo Trace fixed and we're trying to do something. Ask the loaders and them to drop some material or a truck drop a little bit of kind of mud stone thing for you. You all have to come Tattoo Trace, man, and see how it is. We need water, we need lights, right? We need drains, we need everything. You must come through and take a visit.
Yeah, what to do exactly after the program, call me now at the same number.
All right. Thank you.
All right, man.
Bye.
Yeah, man.
Have a pleasant day.
All right. Thank you so much. Oh, boy.
At the end of this week, we have one more day in the week. I think quite a substantial amount of work would have been done for those persons who may still be lagging and don't know where
Hold
we
on,
are.
Lennox. I hope you're hearing me
go
same
ahead.
time. Yeah.
Yes, go ahead, caller. Yes.
Have a blessed present. I need help. For following the same command, I need help. Other thing that piece of wood in the roof. Like a it down it be called so at many percent and because my picture. Have a blessed present in the of my chicky uncle. And you be all of a blessed boy. Andy, everything is happening should know. Have a blessed day.
All right, thank you very much. Morning, caller.
Pleasant good morning, Andy Sobrandi. This is Ann Brown here.
Ann Brown, man. Morning, Ann Brown.
Mr. Lennox Smith. Pleasant good morning to my leader,
Good morning.
Mrs. Kamala Prasad Besessa. My Senator, Sterling John, very hardworking. I would like to let you all know that the pre-budget consultation was very well attended. And on Friday, we're going to have another consultation, and it's Friday the 19th of July 2024, 7 p.m., and it's Caroni East Conference Center room, upstairs KFC.
All right, Ann Brown. So that's
Yes.
say it again for us. Let us hear it once again.
And give us a more specific location, because for those of us who may not be familiar.
Okay, it's Friday, which is tomorrow, the 19th, 7 p.m., Caroni East Conference Room, upstairs KFC building in Canopia.
Good.
That will be the second pre-budget consultation.
Great.
So we'd like
Yes,
everybody to come out
that's
and
more
support.
specific, yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen, and have a blessed day.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you for sharing your information. Otherwise, it will be one of a partial secret, but now it is well known to all and sundry. So get yourselves there in Canopia, Kentucky. Kentucky, she said, right, Andy?
Yes, Kentucky
KFC,
building
right.
in Canopia.
Right. Yes, in
All
Canopia.
right,
So
Ann
that
Brown.
should be an easy landmark to find.
Thank you so much, Ann Brown. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. That's all. Don't forget the lines are open. Yeah, the numbers are called 225-6644, 225-6644, or 239-5120, 239-5120, or you give us a WhatsApp call or send a WhatsApp voice note at 366-3053, 366-3053. And then Smith, Audrey, you know Audrey used to work Pantron Bago. She want Stephen Young phone number. I like I'm not finding that number, boy.
All right, I'll give it to you. I'll send it to you. I'll WhatsApp it to you.
All right. That the JP
yeah.
fella, right? Yeah, the JP.
Yeah, the JP. Yes, who was very instrumental when we had the incident where the police invaded our efforts to go around the savannah.
All right.
The pushback movement, the first pushback movement. 32 persons were in fact charged, and he was very instrumental. Stayed there whole night doing his thing in order to get all of them released. And of course, Mr. Amaro, I think, was very instrumental as well. He got another JP. And
Yes,
the
yes.
two JPs.
But we have a caller. Go ahead, caller.
Go ahead, caller. Yeah.
Morning. Report again.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Lennox, I want to find out something. I hear all this saying that if the police have a problem and they ask you for assistance and you didn't support them, they could charge you. But when you call the police station, when you have a problem and they didn't turn up, what we could do? Answer me.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. But of course, what I consider to be dedicated citizen would do, complain. You know, they have suggestion boxes now. So just put in a note in one of the suggestion boxes. That's one way to start.
Yeah, I just bring up that suggestion boxes. Here, what happening? The suggestion that you drop in that box, those police could open the box throw away the suggestion and say nobody drop nothing.
I hear you. I hear you.
Right? And next thing, I hear two callers call and say cut off north from south. So we'll have to have our own ground report now then. Andy and me and you and Mikey.
Well, I don't think
cutting north from south is a good idea. But what I think is a good idea is to get rid of the PNM completely.
That is all.
Lock, stock, and
no
barrel.
excuses. It are not cut off Tobago, cut off this, cut off that. No, not cut off from south.
No, all of us is one.
Just
all
get rid of the PNM. All of
PNM
that.
is the problem, and let me get rid of PNM.
Let me cut off the PNM.
Simple.
And
once and
that's
for all.
that's the point I was going to make, that the ground report is a unifying
Go ahead,
force,
caller.
a unifying force, and we use a mechanism to unify.
Go ahead, caller. Morning.
Good morning.
Andy for Grandy. And Grandy for Andy. That is why we still want foreign observers for the 2025 general election more than ever. Uncle Lennox, Mikey, Andy, and UB, and all the listeners of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, and all the way on the World Wide Web, this broadcast is heard. Log on and share. Andy, I will ask you two questions this morning, and one to Uncle Lennox. If some of the people in this country understand very well that 22 is, and you take away 2 from 22, you remain 20. And if you add 2 to 19, how much you will get, Andy? First question, right? And then you see why it is now the activists and the few voice who standing up for democracy and defending this country against the wickedness and evil of Keith Rowley-led government in the state. They try to threaten the voice. Now, they are doing all how to keep and the narrative at the machinery. They're going all over to do this mischief. But I would like to ask you the second question, Andy. When the day come and you ask, and God give you that strength, you and Lennox, to come out here to highlight the ills of society and to help change lives to betterment. How you just feel, Andy? Because second, now you are going to Grandy to serve the wider community. That is to tell you, when you're a patriot and you're from the ground and you stand amongst the people like Moses, you know where you had the weight all, but when you know where you come from and you want to serve the people, this is what you do on a day-to-day basis. And when the narrative of the few try to frustrate the system, just imagine penal, they may flood out.
After that,
and first and them saying that how they have money and they're giving the people the money. They want the people now to put out their own money, to fix their own self. And where the money going from the treasury? Where it going? Then the Alsing come now and all the seeing, all who listen, all they understand what the Alsing again is doing. Just like the COVID. 3 deaths, 303 is not a pandemic, it's not an epidemic, you can't spray. Somebody will tell you that when you start to spray, you push back the mosquitoes into the high woods and you move them from in the city dwelling areas and the housing. 303. But you see, once again, they're starting the mischief to kill people again. And the narrative, you see it? And then Rowley will come and say, yeah, no, businessmen once again, they're starting. Although PNM was before the court, but they're so stink and corrupt. And you see how the lawyers work? One law for PNM, one law for UNC. And that is why people, we have to unite. The key on this word this morning is unite and get rid of the PNM. Because if we leave Keith Rowley there, the energy sector The gas deal is for 30 years. It's gone. Just like what Reclaim do in the early days. And he come back in modern time. So all your we future is very dim. Have a nice day, Trinidad and Tobago, and all the listeners.
Thank you very much. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Yes, indeed. Of course, the National Security Council's security agency meet. The Prime Minister met with the National Security Council and the head of the state's security apparatus on Monday at the Diplomatic Center, St. Anne's, to discuss issues surrounding crime. Of course, they went last week, I believe it was, in Tobago. In a statement, the Office of the Prime Minister said that Dr. Rowley spoke about the serious concerns over the incidents of violent crime and the continued use of illegal high-powered assault weapons. He discussed with the leadership assembled the need for a more proactive, intelligence-driven, targeted and robust approach, which is focused on those who are known and suspected to be involved in serious criminality. I suppose talk to Ms. Santa Cruz and she will remind you as to what you have said about crime and a government that is incapable of so doing. The PM also made it clear that the government supported the services and in particular the police service in its carrying out of its duties and responsibilities, provided that they are always done within the legal parameters. Of course, but you know, there is talk about extrajudicial, should I say, hit squad.
But wait on that extrajudicial squad. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah.
Caller, go ahead. Morning. Caller.
Andy.
Bolt.
Yeah.
Hey, Bolt.
What me really say, what?
You gotta get us on Real Media TT.
One day, Real Media TT.
Social media. You gotta get us on social media. Facebook, YouTube.
Go on your phone.
You gotta go on your phone.
I pull up YouTube or Facebook.
I
know that. So I will check you. I'll call up in Santa Cruz. Miss Santa Cruz number 2 asked me to help out. So since Monday, in fact. So I'll try to get up there today or tomorrow. I'll pass by you both.
Whole week up on the radio and you ain't getting nothing. Don't worry, no man. Let us check here. Things will be put in place and people will get the opportunity to know. It's just a matter of time.
Why are you calling back?
For now, we are on social media. All right, Bolt. Sorry about that. Oh boy.
Yeah, the release said that the services present agreed that after the meeting they would carry out sustained joint operations in a coordinated and a collaborative way, particularly in areas where there is a known concentration of criminal activities. More of the same, the more things are talked about, the more it remains the same, Andy. We have heard that before. That is like deja vu. The PM was accompanied at the meeting by National Security Minister, or should I say Insecurity Minister Fitzgerald Hines, and Minister in the office of Prime Minister Stuart Young. Present at the meeting were Police Commissioner Earl Herwood Christopher, Deputy Police Commissioner Junior Benjamin, Natasha George, and Suzette Martin, and the head of the 10 police service divisions. Also present were the Chief of Defense Staff, Air Vice Marshal Daryl Daniel, Acting Prisons Commissioner Carlos, and Strategic Services Agency Director Brig Gen Anthony Phillips.
Yeah, but that
Brigadier General Anthony Phillips Spencer.
Yeah. And that was so what?
A meeting of the security forces at the diplomatic center.
That's like what we talked about yesterday.
By the Prime Minister, yes.
When he said, well, the full brunt of the law, and you now know that the full brunt of the law and that kind of nonsense.
Yeah. He's the man who said that if a government cannot have a handle on crime, it is part of the problem.
Mr. Good morning to you. Yeah, Mr. Good morning to you, Andy. Mr. Good morning to you, Lennox Smith, and good morning to the listeners at this time. Andy, are you hear me clear?
Yes, we are.
Loud and clear, my friend.
Yes, and I now send the link to Benman. I hope he get you. That's when I sent him. Just press it in the WhatsApp and you will just see the live come up. I hope he get you to because I know people want to look into the ground report. And I must say this, Andy and Lennox Smith. Where we going, where the crime in this country, I think that the government of the day do not have the plan and do not have the solution to stop it. Because they're coming with no plan to govern this country. And every single day, you see crime taking place. And it's not like we all know that you cannot stop crime, but you can put a control. You can put a control on the crime. And the crime very, very out of control, where that the government of the day have no plan to fix it and no solution to get rid of it, because like somebody benefiting. Because I want to tell them this here. It takes too long for Dr. Roddy to come out to say he put in the army with the police. That is a normal thing. Or it always have Coast Guard moving with the police. It might have more now. But we cannot have buying more vehicle, more bulletproof vests, more guns, and the police afraid, the police coward. I can tell you this, that sometimes somebody wake up in the morning and believe that they could go in a school in America and shoot innocent people. And when the police reach, it could be one gun that child have in the hand, shoot on the school. The police going in that school to try to save civilian. They will have a big shield, and they go running the school and shoot down the mental ill person, kill them dead. We are seeing police here ducking and hiding, and the police are gun on the back, they are gun on the foot, they have bulletproof vests. We cannot have the police afraid, because it looks to me. Because when I see these things and the police and shots busting, they're ducking low, they're running wild. I am saying this. Our police service come a cartoon. They only want to go in to put on a big gold chain, get mortgage for house, and drive nice car, and get a monthly salary. They're not willing to protect. They're not willing to fight for the country. Because when you have on that uniform, you swear to give your life for this country. When you put on that uniform, you swear to give your life for this country. And if we want to stop crime in this country, we need to reform the police service. We need to get rid of the corrupted police in this thing. We need to put our police on test now. make sure that they are willing to serve, not going for a gold chain, not going for corruption, not deal with the underworld, not deal with the underworld, not deal with the underworld. We have to make sure that our police is ready to be honest and to fight for country. As I close, Andy and Lennox Smith, I am saying unity. I am saying that we cannot be speaking unity. I'm speaking about my party, the UNC. We cannot be talking unity and we're not seeing it. I asked the question this morning, where's the unity? We cannot be talking unity on our platform. And then behind the scene, we're saying we're going alone. The UNC must come out clear and tell this country if they're fighting the election alone. Because we cannot be talking unity on stage. And when small parties look to reach out, months and weeks and days, when individuals looking to reach out, months and days, people ain't answering the phone. The UNC must come clean with that talk because they're saying unity. And I asked the question this morning, hey, stop and think, don't attack me. Don't attack me. I asked the question, we cannot be saying unity because unity is saving this country from PNM. Unity is saving poverty and pain. That is unity. When we speak unity in the UNC, we talk about saving the needy. I witnessed two mothers went in a bookstore and picked up books. I cried. People criticized them. I went and said, no, I understand them. It's wrong. But I understand. And unity is in the UNC, is taking care of single mothers, cannot afford books. That is unity. Where's the unity? We speak unity on stage. We say we open our hands. We say we respect activists. We respect the ground troops who work hard for the party, who go out and fight. I ask, where is the respect? I ask the question. And I'm not asking no caller, you know. I'm speaking to the executive, to the membership, to the UNC on top. Me speaking to no a fanatic. Me not asking you no question. I do not want to hear from you. I do not want to hear from you. I know what you're going to tell me, so I don't want to hear from you. You see now, unity. When we speak unity, it's about making sure that we have water in our tap. And this is the strength. This is the strength we need to have. Because if we say, hey, unity, hey, we respect activists, hey, we respect the soldiers who stay and fight. Because I can tell you this, many of us in the 9 years, the ground report, Kings, there are many others, we get knocked down, but we stand back up and we fight. Somehow we fight in shame. We embarrass, but we still fighting. Because you know why we're fighting? We love this country and we believe that our party, our great party, the UNC, can save us from hell. That's why we're still fighting. We keep on hope that under the partnership of 5 years, we was living a greater life. We was living a better life. We was living a safer life. So when we get knocked down and we think about that, all of us in the UNC in the front line, Mikey, Andy, so much of names, COP, Carnage, Bellman, so much of names to call, who I know fighting day and night.
But you're saying, I'm just asking, you're saying that the UNC only preaching UNC unity, but on every platform they are talking unity. At the end of the day,
Where's
the
the unity?
opposition parties
And I'm asking
talking
you the
unity.
question, show me the unity.
Oh, so you
We're
actually
not talking about unity among the self or amongst other people willing to work with them. What do they mean by unity? We're not talking about unity. Unity amongst the self or amongst a group of people? This is the question I'm asking. Yes, I hear you, Andy. All platforms are speaking unity. All platforms are speaking come on board, we open we arms. But I can show you and the facts there to show that small parties reaching out to our party, our big party, and we are playing games. And I'm saying if the UNC is going alone in the next.
Oh boy, I lose you there. I lost you there, Kingsley. I lost you there. Whoa, you got a call back.
Very interesting and unusually, uncharacteristic of his recent, very passionate call for a greater impact by the opposition and in particular, of course, the UNC. I think this is a much more palatable position that he has taken this morning, and should be commended for it. I suppose some of the sentiments expressed might have taken on board in order to come up with this a very what I consider to be very interesting and forward-thinking position as far as moving forward, and the collective opposition having to coalesce and pool their resources, not just coming together, but pool their resources in order to defeat this, of course, multi-headed, what I consider to be dangerous political entity called the PNM. So I take note. Criminologists, of course, government should highlight a true cause of crime. Criminologist Darius Figaro, in an interview with, of course, he said that the version of a reality which the National Security Council was operating under was not the reality on the ground. Was not the reality on the ground. You have a call? I'll pause. If
you go ahead by the time. Yes, he said it was not.
They have a go-to position of calling meetings when the criminality has approached what they consider political levels and are not acceptable, considering we are going into an election year. And that is what the plethora, and I agree with this criminologist, that is what I consider to be the overactivity, the overzealousness to address the question of crime. And you see in Tobago, and then of course every day some statement is made. Even those statements are misplaced from time to time, totally not consistent with the reality. But they're making statements only, of course, to salvage some kind of political relevance. The people not knowing or hoping that the people have not yet made up their mind in totality about them. Well, they have again miscalculated. The people have made up their minds, and clearly it is about just a matter of time. Call the election, whether in your front pockets, shirt pocket, etc., and you will have to face that reality of the people. They have reached the zenith of their tolerance, the optimum, the apex of their tolerance. From 2017, according to the criminologists, from 2017 to 2022, promises have been made repeatedly, which have yet to be fulfilled. My position is that the promises have yet to be fulfilled because their vision of what is happening on the ground that is driving the criminality is an abstraction of reality, on the ground. It is politically manufactured. Figaro said the same analyses were repeatedly made about the cause of crime, which is attributed to gang activity. No official person or commentator has publicly stated what is the nature of the gang reality. The most important aspect of gang reality, which has never been publicly articulated, is that gangland in TT was created and is derived by a transactional organized crime. Wow, transactional organized crime. I like that term. So when we wanted to understand the dynamics, momentum, and evolution of gangland in TT, we need to understand what is going on with transactional organized crime globally and in TT. We needed to identify the players in Trinidad, their connection in gangland, and how their business models are impacting the violence in gangland. So he's talking about transnational. He's talking about that this thing has gone there. But I beg to have a different view on this. I don't think it is that transnational as it is local, in the sense that you have elements in the society that have access to guns and ammunition. Seeing that politicians are getting filthy rich, that is in the public domain. You are seeing, of course, politicians
Hold 1 minute again, Lennox Smith.
each other, accusation-wise, and so on. And that has to be taken on board. It's multifaceted and multidimensional. Go ahead, Andy.
I mean, Kingsley sometimes talks smart, but sometimes talks foolish. It's about unity and small party. Andy, small party want big demand. That's the problem. Your small party is like we're going in a cook. We're going in a vacation. Everybody put in $100, but you only put in $5. But you want to have the same say as the man who put $100. And they don't work that way. Life is not like that. Kingsley, you've been a dummy. I can't tell you that, brother. Your brain is so minute, it's so small. Your brain don't function well. You don't think, man. Let me teach you a lesson. You cannot have a small man in the dance and want to have a big play. You cannot put what should I say? How could you do it? Put it this way to you so you can understand. You are 1 in 100, but you want to have all the say over the 100. And the small party, if you get to join, you go along with the big party and build yourself in and get in and then start to make it way up. So when the movement agrees, you come and join, but don't come and join because you want to share a pie, but you want you put in a minute section, maybe 5 voters, and you have 1,000, but you want a big say. It don't work like that, friend. Friend, go back to school and learn. I am 62 years old. I can teach you a lot of lessons. Bye.
Thank you very much. Oh boy, oh boy.
Very good analysis, Andy. Very good analysis. Of course, my focus on Kingsley's presentation this morning was on the concept of unity. Unity has just one connotation, and that is people coming together maybe for a unified or specific purpose. But certainly what the callers mentioned is the reality of politics in this country.
People only have 5 people, but when they come in or they want to go to the major party, which is the UNC, they want to talk like they have 20,000 people.
And that is the problem. That has been the problem. Why, of course, this unity agenda has not reached where it ought to. Because if people recognize that the extent to which they have influence will be the extent to which, and we have said it repeatedly, the extent to which they would have contributed. And if you're contributed, your contribution is minuscule. You cannot expect to have a party that has the vast majority to succumb or to belittle themselves to you because you carry the appellation or the accolade or the name political leader of a party that is in government, but you must be conscious of your reality, and that's the problem with people like David Abdullah, and we have seen it, of course, with even, of course, the late great Makandal Daga, and to a lesser extent, because they brought something to the table in their turn, talking about Dukaran. But outside of that, by and large, people have the propensity to believe that because you are now in government and you are part of the partnership or whatever arrangement that would have been made for them to get into government, they suddenly believe that they could influence the entire pie. It simply, according to the last caller, it simply does not work like that. It is not a real human situation, and those who are in the majority will certainly resist, and the UNC had all right to resist that kind of attempt to overwhelm and to pretend that they are the minority partner in the situation, when in fact they are the majority. And when it becomes intolerable, they then take charge, and people then say, look, I know that, and so on. But no, you are being unreasonable, as
Very
Abdullah demonstrated during the partnership.
But hold 1 minute, please. Go ahead, caller.
Go ahead, my friend.
Yes, this is Silver Fox here.
Hey, the Fox are calling you after the program, yeah? I need to talk to you after the program. Yeah.
Yes. Don't feel no.
Yeah.
Now, I hearing people ranting and raving. If people saying they're hungry, they don't have work, they don't have road, right? Who you gonna vote for? Camilla not supposed to even go down and think so much to get people to vote for her. People supposed to know who to vote for right now, and you have to vote for the UNC. You can't get nothing from the PNM, nothing. You say you're hungry. You saying one go in a place and take book. That is not unity. That is poverty. They're hungry. They don't have nothing they don't have money. Camilla is royal, and all you have to know what all you have. You have to hold on to Kamala Prasad Bissessa. You have to give her the government, because we will eat the bread the devil need. And we start to eat the bread the devil need. Look, some of us was fat. Now we get thin. You know how we get thin? We are having the things to eat as before. The thin one dying, not because of criminality. They're hungry. The people in Trinidad and Tobago is hungry, and hungry people will be angry people. But I don't understand how these people stay like that, and nobody don't want to come out. Everybody watching one another. You can't watch one another. Things have to happen, because if we wait till 2025, these people will fix this thing, that they will win it again. We have to take stock of our lives. If you all say all you want, all the young generation to be happy, we have to stand up now.
Talk, Silver Fox, correct.
It's time to stand up in Trinidad and Tobago for what is right and what is wrong. You can't have a black man, because he's a black man, that you believe that he can do you anything and you satisfy with what he's doing to you. This thing has to stop somewhere. We are big people. We are big married people. We are people with big children. We are people with little children. And we have to take stock. You just rule your home and say what you want in your home and what you don't want in your home. While a man outside is doing all manner evil, and you're taking it, and you say you're ruling your child home, that means you can't rule your child home, because this man is ruling you in a way that you don't even want to go down the road, and you are going to, and you're standing up for what wrong, you're standing for wrong. Teach your children that you have to stand up for what is right, so they can watch you as an exemplar. stop that nonsense that because he is black outside but white inside. And you have to understand, we are the government. We put him there, and he has to work for us, not he working for himself and his small bunch. Time for things to stop in this country. Trinidad and Tobago, wake up, wake up, wake up. Don't even smell the coffee because you don't want to sleep. Wake up, Trinidad and Tobago, and do the right thing. We have to get out there and move evil and put back good. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let me say a pleasant good morning, Valerie. A pleasant good morning to you, and thanks so much. Oh boy, thanks so much. Nice. So trying to make the lines are open. The number to call 225-6644, 225-6644, or 239-5120, 239-5120. Or give us a WhatsApp call at 366-3053, 366-3053. The lines are open, man. Oh boy. So Lennox Smith, you heard Silver Fox contribution. And it still boils back down to us, eh? It's us.
It makes a lot of sense. It is the contemporary thought. It is a modern progressive position that you do not, in a democracy, have anyone believe that they are so potent, they are so powerful that they can arrogate onto themselves a position that determines whether or not a person eats or don't eat, and then conduct in such a way so that they determine how the resources of the country that does not belong to them, but only because they got the stewardship, suddenly act as though it belongs to them and then distribute it among friends, family, members of the party, and of course acquaintances and associates. In other words, they dictate the pace as if it is their personal parlor, when in fact this is a democracy, and their very presence there is as a consequence of the collective, in spite of the imperfections of the Westminster system, first past the post, winner take all scenario. But it is a democracy, government by the people, of the people, and for the people. And therefore, in such circumstance, it means that we have been shortchanged by this administration, and that is what, of course, Silver Fox spoke to. And I want to commend him, of course, for that very, what I consider to be exquisite analysis, as, of course, so many other contributors to this program have been doing over the years. And now that we have a new dispensation, get to your smartphones, get us on, of course, social media, whether it be
on the Workers' Right platform, plus Workers' Right platform, yes, Corridor Transformation, and on yes, Real Media TT.
On these platforms, yes, on these platforms. So,
and it have many other platforms to come that we will be able to tell
yes,
you
that we will be engaging. Of course, as I said yesterday, and I will continue to repeat, because you will have to be part of it when we get out there. We, in short measure, we'll have to get out there as soon as we are satisfied that we have a command of the social media platform in the way that we have designed. One of the objectives, one of the passionate plea that we are or lobbying this platform, the ground report on this platform will be engaged in, and that is to have the entire country connected, consistent with the overture and the policy statements by this government that digitization is the way to go, and therefore one of the ways to do so is to provide connectivity for all of Trinidad and Tobago, 360 degrees. In that way, everybody, whether you have a smartphone or otherwise, will not focus on the bill that they have to pay the internet bill, as the case may be, because that is different to radio. Obviously, you plug in a radio and you get any frequency because it flies in the air, whether it be AM or FM, as the case may be. But in this particular case, if it is that you are going that way, that you must, because that is the way the world has to go, then we must be the agents that will cause the government to manifest that which it professed, and that is to bring connectivity across the country, all public spaces, whether it be schools, whether it be playgrounds, whether it be government buildings, whether it be recreational spaces, etc., in order to provide the national coverage of connectivity so that the young people can go to school and be in school wherever they are by their devices. And it is obsolete and ironic that this government will focus on things like physical library and so on. That is obsolete. Take that money and put up towers and so on across the country so that people can connect, because their device provides not just a library with limited books in their own locale or in Trinidad, but all over the globe. They can learn all kinds of languages, etc., through their device. That is cost effective, and that is a progressive way of treating with the problems of the country and getting the knowledge base to the optimum as we contribute to the development of Trinidad and Tobago. That is where I expect a government to go. I know that the UNC is fervent, and of course, it's just a matter of time before they get into government in 2025 maximum, in order, of course, to realize these facts. After all, it was they who, of course, visualized the presence of a very, what I consider to be, information-savvy population by introducing laptops to every single school child as they entered school. And it was, if the opportunity had only been sustained, they would have introduced it to primary schools as well.
Nice. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, time check. It's about 19. Yes, it's 19 minutes past your of 8 o'clock. Hey, listen to the ground report. And I must say a pleasant good morning to Donna Gockins, Joe Moses, all of you. Afid Mohammed, Lestra, pleasant good morning to you, Bix, all of you. Rasta Jack that are lock on. Oh boy, we want you all contribution. Don't forget to share the link, the same link that you all on and lock on to. Share that link. Oh boy, let me say a good morning to Joyce Lynn, a good morning, Gail. Gail, good morning to you. So much people are locked on. Alan, John, all of you that are locked on, a pleasant good morning. Don't forget to share that very important link.
Yes, and of course, and if you want to get on YouTube now, you can just type in Corridor Transformation. Yeah, you may see my face first, and then so you will know that you are in the right place. And then, of course, you get onto the live part of it from 6 o'clock every morning once the ground report is on. And, of course, in the night subsequently, from 8 o'clock, we will have the Corridor Transformations, should I say, own program. But, of course, in the morning, we have a joint session, if you want to call it that, a simulcast, if you want to call it that. The fact is that we are on the...
Yes. We have a call...
on Real Media TT as well for the ground report.
Nice. And you can also get us on Workers' Right Platform. Yes. Let me say thanks to Redison Jeffrey. Thanks so much. Go ahead, caller. Morning to you.
Morning, Andy. Morning, Lennox.
Good morning.
Morning, Mikey K. And how are you guys this morning?
Just fighting the fight as usual.
All right. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. I understand that the UNC has started its budget consultations, and I really want to invite persons to pay attention to what is happening with the budget. And why is that? Why is that, Andy? Because the budget is a tool available to the government. And a tool could be used like a cutlass to clear my land or to wield it against someone and destroy them. A gun can be used to protect my family, or it could be used to attack someone else. A budget is just that. A budget is a tool that is available to the government of the day. And that budget can be used for good, as we have seen under the UNC, where it was used to build schools, to provide laptops, or it could be used to negatively affect the lives of the people of this country. And make no bones about it, the budget for the past 9 years is almost a weapon of mass social and economic destruction in Trinidad and Tobago. I am inviting people.
So truth. Go ahead.
Yes. So, when a government collects taxes, which is a major form of revenue, inside of a budget and which they present to us, that those taxes and that revenue, they don't belong to the government. It is placed in the government's hand as public trust. It is held in trust for the people of this country. As Forex doesn't belong to the central bank. It doesn't belong to the government. It is held there in public trust, and that is something we have not paid attention to. So we as this, and I will continue to call in and build up on that concept, so we understand that it is our money, our patrimony, as was the oil of Trinidad. We have to start paying attention and paying interest to how any government, particularly this government, is using that weapon against or using it as a tool for us, and we need to speak out. So I just wanted to introduce that concept and let us understand the importance of public consultation with respect to the budget. So thank you, fellas, and thank you, Trinidad and Tobago.
All right. Thanks so much for the information. Oh, boy.
Very, very interesting, Andy. Very, very interesting. Very articulate. I mean, and the level of specificity clearly forces one to visualize the concept. So well was it put. Yes, that the resources belong to all of us. We have been saying that maybe in a generic sense, but here it is. You have this caller zeroed in on the fact that it is ours. We talk about democracy, government by the people, of the people, and for the people, and the common denominator there is the people, and therefore it has nothing to do with Rowley. It has nothing to do with the PNM per se, but it has to do with the people of Trinidad and Tobago. That includes Rowley and but they make it look as though, as I said this morning, as if it's a private
No, but the
parlor.
point what I realized that she made.
Distribute as they wish. Yeah, go ahead.
The point I realized that she made, that she really wanted to send home for much people to understand, is that no different. It's like a gun. The budget is that serious. It's no different. You understand the point that lady was trying to make?
Oh yeah. But clearly that is why I say she was very in even her analogy was very poignant, was very pointed. Yes, you could use it for good and you could use it for bad, and we have been.
And so far we have been getting a budget of bad.
Yeah, the toxicity. Yeah, the poison of this government is overwhelming, and of course it has been extended to the utilization of the budget, because the budget is the mechanism through which they get authority to utilize the resources in the house at the central bank and in our reserve and in the Heritage and Civilization Fund and through taxes, etc. They get an opportunity to use, and therefore we must pay focus, because depending on what they propose as policies and programs will determine whether Trinidad is further damned or we emerge or see some light or find some kind of solace in emerging out of the quagmire that this very government has plunged Trinidad and Tobago almost to a point of no return. But nonetheless, we have a duty and responsibility to pay attention.
Nice, nice. All of the lines are open, eh? Yeah, the numbers to call. What's your front burner? What's your view? Very interesting by that caller before.
Oh, yes, and as I said, you know, the callers are extremely aware, conscious, and the articulation skills are, you know, are superb. And we have a tremendous amount of intelligent people that are calling, and not that I can find fault with any contribution, but you know, there are some that may be a little more exceptional than others, for want of a better term. And so you need to highlight that. Sometimes I tell them, go to the top of the class. You know, like Kingsley this morning, I think his unity call was great. Of course, the subsequent caller, the caller behind him, well, he said, well, listen, you have to be careful here because you cannot have one apple, and I have, well, let me say orange to be more local. One orange, and then of course I have a dozen oranges, and suddenly you believe that you can have all. You can dictate where my dozen orange go, or who must share, or who I must share my oranges with. No, it doesn't work like that.
Who are more corn, how to feel more foul. You can't want to come with one foul and expect to feed a whole army. But if somebody comes,
David Abdullah is the greatest example of that. You came in literally with nothing and wanted to dominate. You know, I found it very, you know, not just awkward, but irrational. You know, and
just a morning caller.
Common sense.
Morning, Andy. Morning.
Morning.
I was on a little. We come on a little late this morning. Lennox, what's going on?
Hey, I'm all right, my friend. I see that you're here. Better late than never is the saying. So we welcome you. What you have any issue you want to raise at this point?
Yeah, because I was here and you're talking about the issue of crime, and
yes,
what I believe. It seems like the government is the only entity that doesn't know what causing crime. Because if that go on the far end of the spectrum and talk about the factor that the crime done commit already, and we want to use the police now to curtail crime on that end of the spectrum, and you're not starting from the issue with poverty, peer pressure, unemployment, lack of education, lack of proper education, a matter of fact. You see, at a time that somebody would have made this commitment to the public domain, it's the same curriculum for prestige schools and government school, but yet still the children in the government school are being is far behind. So when they're starting this thing about crime and they want to get the police in full force, what about dealing with the underlying issues, the remote causes, the many remote causes that exist within the public domain? And going from that perspective, because you being a criminologist would know something like that. So when Rowley, well, I doesn't like to say Rowley, when Prime Minister Keith Rowley would have come in the public domain and they hear him say them type of nonsense in the public, what does go through your mind, Leonard? What does go through your mind?
Well, it is clear. I mean, the answer to that, this is a rhetorical question. The answer is that they seem to be unaware. They seem to be out of touch and out of their depth in terms of that. Because this is, as you rightly said, a multifaceted, multidimensional issue that requires a corresponding response to the issue. And of course, we'll have an opportunity to speak to some of the variables, some of the nuances that will comprise what we consider to be the crime crisis that we have in this country today.
Because it's serious, because if you're finding one set of the people always in crime, if we have a problem in Trinidad and this is something I believe that the politicians, that plenty of them doesn't like to pay attention to. There is one race of people, and there's a fact, So it are people that go vex with me for saying that there is one race of people that always getting themselves caught up within crime. They're falling out the jail. Now, in all society, there is there should be a different approach in dealing with these type of situations. What causing it? Let me go down in places like Lavantil, like same thing like Point Fortin, Labrador. Let me see where is the problem that may be intrinsic to the people there and try to address it. Because we know what's going on down here, and I and Sheldon have been championing this thing down on this side here. Now, many of you may not know that there are two big industrial estates down on this side. But you know what they do? You know the government do? The park gate. So they are...
Who they Jeffers?
Yeah, that's Jeffers.
Oh, go ahead. By hailing you all said morning, boy. But go ahead.
It's only one person who have a voice like that.
Wait that.
Heavy and solid. Go ahead, my friend.
Right. So it are two big major industry down on this side, but the government park gate. And to add insult to injury, it had a government kind of what do we used to call it, the labor office. It used to be stationed by one of them NG school and them, but close to the thing. So people used to go there and try to get job, try to reach the companies down inside it because they can't pass. You know, the commando closed down that. The commando closed down that, so they leave the citizens of the surrounding areas open to the how to say, the not corruption, but to the manipulation of certain entities. Meaning that if that get a job inside it now, that a pay, or that know the person who picking, and it becomes a situation that is uncontrollable. So people in this area in Point Fortin here, and Labrador environs, leave the area to go outside to get jobs. You understand? So, and that is the problem we facing. So if you're finding that and a man get fed up, what do you think he going to do? He going to smoke weed, he going to commit crime, and a whole lot of things could come out of this. Now, when we start to broadcast certain things and put it within the public domain, because people not aware of the situation down here, you know? I sure you know, Lennox, because the other day I see somebody called, man, you see the mango, you see that a mango man right next door?
Yes,
Labrador is a
adjacent
place.
to me, yes.
There's beer mango right round the year. Right round the year, there's every month mango that's behind Labrador in Lennox. And it's something to do with it.
I thought it was
so all the run out of mango down there.
No, we don't run out of mango. And the problem is that MP come and MP go. They themselves see it fit that we could put a preserve plan down in Labrador. Look pitch coming up behind people yard in Labrador. People that come there and people that sell pit some of the time. Bucket, you know, long time they used to put them Z-bat underneath your car. That start down in Labrador. You understand? Whether you used to set up boil and refine the pitch and put it underneath your motor car, that when water comes, it go penetrate the metal underneath it so it lasts longer. That born in Labrador. People used to come from all over the country for that. You understand? We have two mega industry and we're not benefiting from this down here. So it's an urge and a thirst and frustration of the people is what does make people come and block the road and try to shut down certain parts of down here. Down here, people militant, you know. You say block the road, they're coming out early in the morning, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning to block the road because we are aware of the situation. But PNM gridlock the area to a certain point.
Because I'm not going to say that, because with all of that, so far, and you all are very militant, but we get a little echo. So it's just a drop volume. Somebody had to just drop a volume.
Reverberation, yeah.
Because people mentioning that. Yeah. So it's just getting a slightly echo. But with all of that, and the people know that down there in Labrador, and you all are very militant in truth if you say to come out of it, go. How manage nobody made the call, and if anybody made the call, why so far in Labrador there the people, Labrador Point Fortin area, the people ain't come out? But you was mentioning something about PNM.
Yes, the reason why they ain't coming, the reason why they doesn't come out, PNM institutionalize all the whole work scenario and thing down there. So if you start to talk out about the PNM, in the morning you get a call, hey brother, it's better you stop talk about it or you go out to look for it. That is how plain that does be. Because
On my job, the only thing what saved me on certain jobs that I was a part of down on this side is because of the registered union that I have. So anytime they play the full line mine, I know the law, we take them to a certain level. But plenty of the times, the most they can tell me is don't talk politics on the job. And I agree with that. You understand? But PNM have a way that anytime you start to talk about them in certain areas, you lost certain benefit of the areas. They come to talk the thing. So people are naturally afraid. People in this thing 20 and 30 years, 40 years. You understand? And because of that factor, the prefer stay silent. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not a nice thing down on this area, in this area.
No different to away in Tobago before, whereby you say talking and which all of us going through that, which is the victimization. You really want to be straightforward. You really want to talk your mind. But because and PNM accustomed doing that because they did that during the COVID, whereby they tell you here it is, take the injection or no work. So here it is. Don't talk about PNM. Don't come out with test because you wouldn't have a work. So, and a man must pick between his bread and butter and talking about PNM.
That is what going on here. Now the country, because of the factor that the country within itself would have been predominantly PNM for so long, they would have found a way to do that to the whole country, because on plenty of the jobs on them, because we just be around all the time, always on the ground. Because we just treat with union issues, with work-related issues. And the people within themselves don't know that, enough. Plenty of them doesn't want to talk. If they do want to talk, they don't want to show the face. Because if you say some social services, does it that has PNM people working there? I ain't saying all of them is PNM, but it does victimize them. Look at a man outside the house down on this side here. He just hold a shovel. One of the social service personnel would have seen him and say, you're working. And he said, no, I just pick up the shovel. He said, no, you're working. And the thing about it, the person is, we had an issue with them, the person is a staunch PNM. Now, I am not saying that all of the people who might be victimizing him may be staunch PNM, but I am sure that person is a serious PNM because they are contract and thing, and we had run-ins with them. Because they was... I can go into a lot of history concerning that, but I'm telling you, there is a certain type of victimization in PNM run constituencies. People cannot speak their mind. What I am doing here is detrimental. Because I'm living in a PNM place, and because, let me tell you something, people know me from the ground. My uncle was a minister down in the library area here, and we used to do things differently. We had to develop a mechanism. The government never used to study people down on the side, whether PNM or not. We had was to go get up in the morning and block the road. And the only reason we getting water down on the side is because of the plant that they built up in the area. So we have a constant supply of water, and that would have started under the UNC. Let me show you something. The problem is that they stifle the voices of the people down on the side. It had nobody saying anything and coming out and talking at them kind of thing. So I know from the time that we would have started this thing, this activism thing, I know that we would have get some backlash, with which we did. People would have tried, like the MP and thing, they would have sent out pre-action protocol letters to us till it reached a point that, we didn't answer in time and thing, and they're trying to get in default judgment and thing. But what we are saying is that we can prove everything concerning that, and that is what they does do. They does come at the person that's talking to frighten the others. To frighten the others. And I say, Andy, that is what it does do some of the times with people like you, with Lennox, with Mikey. That is what they do. But the thing about it is that we have to be more resilient as a people and push off that. We can't continue to take that, because it's never saying I go end in this. It's never saying that go like this. When they came for the Jews, I didn't stand up because I was not a Jew. When they came for the socialists, I didn't stand up because I was not a socialist. When they came for the trade unionists, I didn't stand up because I was not trade unionist. And soon and very soon they came for me, and no one was there to stand up for me. And that is what it is. We must stand up and speak out and say something. And I encourage everybody, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, to say something. Say something. Don't afraid the PNM. Don't afraid no entity. You understand? Make your opinion known. And with that, I'm going to end my contribution there, Andy. And Lennox.
Hey, you know, I could remember Fitzgerald Jeffrey, the former Labour MP down there. He come out and protested for water with his people, you know.
Yeah, but,
and he was a PNM and he do business.
well, that is why I didn't want to talk about that part on the air. But at that time, he gone up to ministry because he was a junior minister. And I called him and I said, Uncle, I go in and block the road. He tell me, well, go ahead, the people in our water, he go try to see thing. And at that time, that year was going on. And that is why at that time, me and he did fall out in it. But we did end up making back because he tell me, don't block the road, boy, that will make me look bad. I said, Solia, I'm not doing that. And that the first time I get locked up. Police come and lock me up. They say, but you inciting. I said, no, it don't have people in our water for weeks. And the people used to down on the side here. Used to go and wash the clothes and damn and thing. That was the reality down on the side here. That was the reality in this area. Down here was severely depressed. You understand? So the little government resources that they used to have around the area, the people that in charge of it used to capitalize on it and have sex with the women, have sex with people's wife, and basically abuse people. Break up families. That is what we know as MPs and councillors. That is what they used to do down on the side. Because the little resources, they are in control of it and there's no way of going around them. And I'm sure this does take place in different communities in Trinidad. And that is what we up against. The woman is up against their dignity. Because these politicians and them violate it. So you understand why we're doing this and why we're doing it for so long. And why these little petty things and them with it trying to think God is good. That is the best I can say. God is good. God is good.
And we can't give up. Whether try to cut off we neck here or throw in the bush there or however, the only way they win is when we give up.
True.
Nice. So we all have to keep strong and continue the right thing and fighting for the people at the end of the day.
Because all right, let me give some callers and let's chance to come in and make a comment.
Nice. Oh boy.
Thank you very much, of course. That gives credence and
thanks, Jeffrey,
to our position that like-minded people for the good, you know, come together because there is this synergy. There is this whether you call it epiphany, whether you call it divine intervention, whatever it is, but like-minded people will gravitate together, particularly when they are of a positive nature, because it is likened to the saying that only when good people stand idly by and complacent that evil could prevail. And I want to thank my friend for, of course, bringing that very evidently this morning. And yeah, he appears to be widely read as well.
Hold 1 minute, please.
Quoted, yeah.
Go ahead, caller.
What he quoted earlier.
Go ahead, caller. We are hearing you. Good morning. What's your contribution?
Andy, Felix.
Go ahead, Felix.
Yeah, I send the message for you, right? Concerning the link now.
Yes. I will try to get on to these people.
Thank you very much.
Lennox, you guys too.
You send for me.
Yeah, send this one Lennox too.
Yeah, thanks very much, my friend. Thank you for assisting us there.
No, Lennox, you don't get it already. You don't get it. He sent it for you too.
All right, thank you. Yeah,
Lennox, what's your number?
The same number I sent for you. I send this number for you.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Andy, I was making the point that our Jefferson appeared to be well read because he was quoting Pastor Martin Niemöller.
Jeffrey, yeah? It's Jeffrey's in it,
Yeah, he's a
Renaissance Jeffrey, I think, yeah.
Yeah, Jeffrey, yes. I of all persons should
remember that Fitzgerald Jeffrey.
That's our boy. Yes, of course. Union, workers' union. But the point I'm making is that it was Pastor Martin Niemöller who, of course, talked about the analogy he made, where, of course, they came for the trade unionists. They came for, of course, the other elements. They came for the Jews and so on. And when it came for me, there was no one because I remained silent. So, of course, he said all that to say that we must talk out where injustices prevail because, as Martin Luther King would have said, as well as a former deceased late President Kennedy would have said, that, of course, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And I think these kinds of philosophical disposition must be inculcated because the PNM clearly has brainwashed the people. They have indoctrinated them because they have been in government for the longest. And as we have seen, that if you're in government for a very long time, you can be a force for good or a force for evil to sustain your own agenda. Well, the PNM is the latter, a force for evil.
And used our budget, weaponize our own budget against us. It is
against
what it
us,
is.
Yeah. Because they are too long in office.
So now it's up to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, man. Oh boy, US. Well, it's about 12 minutes in the hour of 9 o'clock. So we have approximately about 12 minutes again here. So what's on your front burner? What you want to highlight? What do you want people to know that they don't?
Yes.
Any other bread and butter issues there that you can touch on, my brother? Because so far we have been touching on most of everything there. There's bread and butter issues.
Yeah, boy. We have been expansive this morning. Taxman Grant. Of course, there was one issue that I don't think I had completed, which would have been the position of that criminologists on the question of crime and criminality, and it is important to understand. And as Jefferson rightly said, that it is a multifaceted one, but the government clearly does not understand the socio-economic and psycho-cultural dynamics of this burgeoning crisis that has plagued the Trinidad and Tobago, and therefore their inability to save us, the inability to address the problem is so conspicuous that by now they should know that they should be making extreme preparations closer to, getting themselves out of office because they are going to collapse Trinidad and Tobago. And that is a reality. We can't get away from.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's not for them to organize. If you're in office, you have power, you have all that perks, you making all that money. You organizing to just people only every day on the radio or on social media, get out of office, get out of office. And that's all they're doing. Get out of office, get out of office. You go. In Kenya.
No, you see, it speaks to people's moral and sense of right. If you know that whatever you do has turned out to be to the detriment of the people, you have a moral and ethical and nationalistic.
Lennox Smith, you looking for moral and ethical from the PNM?
Tell me that
got to be getting.
Tell me that the
moral,
sky.
Ethical?
Tell me that is not real. Tell me all of that. But we always have to strive for perfections. All of us read the Bible or the Gita or the Quran, as the case may be, or except.
Hold 1 minute, you go give me that rest. Let me take a call there. You give me that moral that you expect the PNM and they have a morality.
No. I am being abstract here. I'm being theory. It's a
fear. PNM not fair?
Theory.
They're not moral?
No.
Nothing you say you can get out of the PNM.
In theory,
Oh, in theory.
it's not really, yes. But you need to have that
Go ahead,
theory in
morning
your mind.
again.
Go ahead, caller.
Good morning again, Andy and Lennox. I know what saying Lennox have been shocked here. Those are words that not in the PNM dictionary. They don't know about these things. They don't know about
Don't
these
give me
things.
theory, Lennox Smith.
Theory, right.
Don't give me theory.
Give us facts.
Give me facts.
Give us facts.
No. Afterwards, you
Andy,
deal with the
I
facts.
sent you a
because the
voice
facts is
note,
reality.
but I don't know if you will get chance to play. So I'll say what it is I said
you go ahead one
on
time.
the voice note. Right. The caller that called about the pre-budget consultation, and she advised everybody to listen to it, pay attention to it. I commend her. And what I wanted to say, I wonder if Amar was listening to her, because Amar was saying that those pre-budget consultation was a waste of time, right? You have quarters as well saying that those consultations are a waste of time because the government is not going to listen. That is not the point. This is not for the government to listen to it. This is for the opposition to listen to the people of the country. Take what they're telling us and take it to the government. Right? You can't just say it's a waste of time and they should be concentrating on the elections. You see, Andy, how every time the opposition is doing something, there's always some kind of critic.
Yes.
Right? Did you hear the lady saying to you about the importance of the pre-budget consultations? People, as long as it is in your area, we have a say. We spend our money when we go out there, whether it is in the taxi, is in the grocery, the pharmacy, ever. And we should have a say in how the country is being run. As Linda and Max said this morning, right? How much money was taken from the HSF and nobody knows where it's going. Nobody knows. And then you're going to come in here a whole set of nonsense in the parliament from all of them who talking, right? They're unpatriotic, they're this, that, and the other. But they don't spend their money. They don't know what's like to face a grocery and stand by that register and hoping and praying that you have enough money to pay for what it is that you take there. You know, many times, I mean, you know, you're not supposed to say what you do, right? But you know how many times it hurt me to see people at the register, they don't have enough money. I don't have, but I try to help them. You understand? Try to help them. I ask them, okay, which is more important? This piece of meat or that? Tell me what is. And I will pay for it for them. You understand? That is how we do it out. And we have to help one another now. Nobody don't know what it is people going through out there, you know. But stand at that register and you will see what it is on, Andy. And again, I must congratulate the caller for advising people to come out and to the naysayers and them, oh, they don't want to go, don't go, right? Let us have our say. Thanks a lot, Andy.
Thank you very much, Miss Santa Cruz. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Lennox Smith. Go ahead, man.
Andy, it is important that we understand all of the perspective. You see, because it is a matter of right and wrong, and it mustn't be said because for example, this budgetary exercise, somebody might say, and even of course our daily commentary on matters of a national nature. It will not be, it will be foolhardy for anyone to say, we come and we talk the same thing over and over and it will fall on deaf ears, etc., etc. I take it in that context, and I'm saying that what we are doing is relevant. And if you know that it is morally wrong or what is morally right, then it must always be expressed as well from time to time. Not that you're focused on it, because it may well, and in this particular case, fall on deaf ears for certain, but it does not mean that you must not bring it to the consciousness of those who will have a look at it and say, yes, this is an alternative. In other words, if I want to know something is black, I must have a concept of what is right. If I know something is wrong, I must have a concept as to what is right. So any program, any training program that you go to, university, kindergarten, of course, primary school, etc., that is how you are educated, so that you have a good idea that this is not, even though in practice the reality is the opposite to the theory that you would have gotten in school or in the what I consider to be the learning environment. But you need to say it. You need to express it so people know that you know what is right and what is wrong. So I do not take very lightly or slightly the question of moral and ethical standards, as opposed to
Hold 1 minute. Let me just take this call. Go ahead, caller.
I
Good
see
morning,
them
Leonard,
both
Andy, and
necessary.
everybody.
Good morning.
You know, I sent a video clip for your Pitbull concerning where people going up for Netco loans and they're dancing and they're whining and they're singing, man. Where PNM getting all this money to give grant to people to build stand for pan and to build little thing for the pan and thing? $2 million one person could get. Where they getting all that money from? Do you know that the HSF fund has gone down by $1 billion US? I read it the other day. Where PNM getting all this money? Andy Lennox Smith, if you see how they giving out loan and grant and money. But I want to know where that money comes. Secondly, when UNC, no, although don't get me wrong, I a UNC, and I always vote for UNC. But there are about 7 or 8 people went for silk on that the UNC. But when a situation come up in this country under the PNM, I don't hear nobody saying nothing. Where is all these silk people? Where they gone to what? They gone back to cotton? I want them to come out and say what is going on in this country. Who, when I issue the law come up, none of them don't say nothing. And I also want to say, when the PNM do wrong to people and they had to go to court, I want to know if they willfully do that to people so that their lawyers could get money. And how could the Attorney General tell Rudal Munilal in the Parliament he can disclose the names of people and how much money they get with our taxes? And I also want to say this. When Rowley threatened the people to take the COVID or lose their jobs, I want to know if that is legal and he could be locked up. And I want to hear the still people from the UNC say something on that. And Rowley don't like to be pushing a corner now. He just gets like a raging bull. But he had a pit bull to deal with. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you so much. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, it's 9 o'clock, but I know you wanted to mention what you was mentioning there, Lennox Smith.
No,
before I do that, let me just take this next call here. Morning caller.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, morning, Mr. Lennox. I would like you to, in the general public, what David Abdullah was asking for, right? Don't just be sarcastic. Bring it to the general public, what David was asking for. David was refused MP position, you know. All David was highlighted, and we know the UNC makes some mistake, was corruption. Mr. Lennox, all they playing games, you know. And all it already, and I want to know, when an election call, I want to see what the ground report, corridor transformation will bring to the table to change the status quo of voters, and you and Kingsley and all you. I want you this morning to bring to the table what David was asking for. All to this genius boy.
Disingenuous is the word, my friend. All right, but let us analyze what we were talking about. We were talking about.
Wait, before you go there, I just want to make it clear what the ground report have bring to the table. everybody see it. We have been bringing it to the table while David, he's a man that's really protest. He just do this, he just do that, wherever it go. But it is open where you have range of things that the ground report have been bringing to the table and have brought to the table and could bring people to the table. It was the ground report bring people to the table when it coming to the COVID on 3 different occasions, 4 or 5 different occasions. It's the ground report who went in front of Ministry of Works. It's who went to the Auditor General and have always been fighting for the rights of people. So on that line, I just get a little taste of what the ground report brings to the table, how much people minds we have changed, how much people that we make understand that PNM is not the answer. And at this point in time, there's a 2-party state and the UNC have proven under Kamala Prasad Bisesa, under Basio Pandey at the end of the day, where there are more people-oriented government, and that many people benefited under the 2 UNC reign in this country, Basio Pandey and Kamala Prasad Bisesa. And the ground report over the years had bring a lot and continue to bring a lot to the table when it comes to the country.
We will bring the information to you raw and undiluted. But to his specific question about and his response to Abdullah, and we should have gone why he was making the heavy weather that he did, and or the reason why he got out or was kicked out of the arrangement that they had politically. He said that this was corruption he was talking about. But before we get there, I think it's important that we clarify once again. We said that politics is a numbers game. So if you bring X, and we use the example of the oranges, you bring 1 orange, but I have a dozen oranges, and I asked the caller to put himself in that position as well. Should the person with the 1 orange dominate the person who provided the 12 oranges? I mean, the answer is obvious. That is impossible. It was in that context we were talking about Abdullah wanted to influence. Let's deal with the specific issue.
But wait, Lennox Smith. But caller, you're hearing that, right? No, the same person. To be fair, we allow you to say, because I believe that you misinterpret what it is Lennox Smith was saying. And look, he's clearing the air on what it is he is saying. You there? Or what he was saying.
Yeah.
All right, so listen to him now. And then what you say.
I have this caller to this.
All right, but let's listen to him now. Oh God.
Lennox, I have this caller to this program. Lennox, you know me.
All right.
When I hear things in the domain that it is making sense, because I know what David had been, and I just try to be sarcastic when I use what you bring to the table. The point was, Andy, right, I was an analyst, right?
Yeah, but listen what Lennox says. Right? So we go clear. Let him just clear.
Okay.
Yeah, let him clear. Go ahead, Lennox. Clear it with him there. I know that.
I think he understands the numbers game. So let's deal with the specific issue of corruption. Even in such circumstance, and the majority, let's say, as far as he's concerned, is engaged, because the others are not saying that they are corrupt. He was just one with the 1 orange man, as opposed and accusing the 12 orange man of corruption. But it's better he remain with his 1 orange and deliver to the people in such circumstances. That's my view, rather than, of course, taking your orange and go away, and then it becomes emaciated, sour, and so on, and you can't make enough juice to even support yourself. Stay inside and treat with the matter, not act as though you wanted to take over the man with the 12 orange and dictate to him what he must do with it. That's all I'm saying. Is a philosophical position by and large, but the practical situation is that I have my 12, you hold your tail and go your way. Go ahead, my friend.
Yeah. You sum it up in enough, and your opinion is on par, right? And basic common sense, you could have stay and fight, right? But you remember the struggle started from since your fight about a quarter, right? and all maybe in his how he bring it across, he must maybe today he must regret it. As you say, you could have still fight.
I'm sure.
A lot of people have
If I
that
was him,
views.
I would have.
You understand? A lot of people have that views, but what I'm disappointed is that you're saying that he wanted, right, a piece of pie, and that was never like that. The whole concept why the MSJ moved out of the partnership, because he said he carried certain information.
No,
I believe the mix-up there is that he just used him as a small party as an example. But in real, what it is Lennox is saying, so just let me at least break down how I take it as a grassroots, which I believe the majority of people take it. He ended up just using...
Before you go, break it, you're breaking it. I just want to deal with the pie. I use orange instead of the pie. Is the same thing. He want to have a bigger piece unfairly of the pie. I just want to make sure that you understand that. Go ahead, my friend.
All right. Again, I understand it as, here it is, Mr. Abdullah Party end up calling because that was like the first thing on his mind there based on it. I think it have an article there with yesterday or today with Mr. Abdullah. But the whole point that we was trying to bring across, but what I realized my colleague was bringing across, was the situation when Kingsley called out about unity. And unity. Yes, everybody wants unity, right? But the problem with the unity at this point in time in Trinidad and Tobago is that the small parties want to have an orange or want to have one slice of pizza, one slice, when the major party, which is the UNC, had the whole 12 size or 3 bucks, 4 bucks, and that one person or that small party want to demand, they have one slice of pizza, but they want to demand to the capacity of 2 bucks of pizza. And that is what causing the problem. And we are saying that the small parties have to understand and respect the major party. And you can't want to bring one marble to the table and go with 100 marble or demand 100 marble. You come with one marble and you organize, you get in. Make sure when you're in, you have a voice at least. Work with your scenes within there and build yourself to the extent whereby while you're there, you can do something for people than just to the outside or demanding so much more than your own, than so much shares that you don't yourself have. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Andy, let me go further just to be in sync with what the caller had introduced his on basis topic. Even if the man with the greater piece of the pie, you believe is corrupt, even in that situation, you have no say. Even if you believe he's corrupt, that's the point I'm making. So therefore, what you do, you stay there and you try to work until you either get the bigger piece of the pie, or you are able, of course, to get your point across so universal that they accept it. That's what you have to do. But if you are prepared to just believe that they must accept it because you are part of them, that's a misnomer. That's pie in the sky. That will not happen in practical terms. It doesn't happen in human situations. No, history is replete with government and governance, and of course the wars and all of that caused by these kinds of scenarios.
Yeah. All right. You have any anything that you would like to add, or you understand, my brother from Carnage?
Yeah, well, I get cut off because I get a call. So, while I was carrying on a conversation, I don't think with the program anymore. When I hear people people misleading the public, right? And I ain't talking about the other parties. What was the philosophy I talking about? Because I am a part of energy. What the energy was crying about within the people partnership, and I have clear idea what was said and what David said and what David didn't say. Right, and I just want to make it right. Right, what Mr. Lennox stated, yes, I agree with him. But I don't like people to mislead people and say, but he didn't want nothing, or he refused our MP position. And Lennox, to come on the fact check, call some of them members and them who was part of the partnership and find out he refused an MP position. Nice program, and I have no more questions. I have nothing to say on my target. Thanks.
All right, my brother. Thanks so much. Oh boy.
Beautiful reasoning. Some people would have, stick to the point. In spite of the overwhelming rationality that would have neutralized to some extent. Right. So I want to commend the caller for being that mature.
Very well, mature. Oh boy. I wonder if it have anybody else want to call. Got time check. It's about 12 minutes. That is the flexibility we have while being
Already,
on.
boy? How it's 2 days now. I think is 8 o'clock.
Interesting
Around this time.
conversations. Interesting conversations.
When interesting conversation come up with among interested people, time
Morning,
flies, and
caller.
I'm sure that.
Morning again, Andy.
Yeah.
You know, that guy who now called was so disrespectful and saying UNC corrupt. Where is he proof? Where, and two others sit down there and never question the man.
No,
No, I never think I
no.
didn't think
No,
I
no.
heard that. I didn't hear that. I really didn't hear that.
Yes.
No. There was no need for us to say that because he was referring to Abdullah, and one of the reasons why he was thrown out or he withdrawn himself from the partnership, and the point we were making is that you can't come in there with one orange, whether you believe the people corrupt or not, and believe that you could influence. You have to stay in there, fight, and then of course, the reality is that we have shown over and over. See, I can afford to talk because we have shown over and over that the PNM was of that notion as well. Today, they are floundering us to prove whether the UNC was corrupt, and we have proven that the PNM is corrupt. They have not been able to show the corruption with respect to those houses. Sorry, those schools that were built. Not even that. Not the aquatic center, not the hospital, not the velodrome, and we can go on and on. Whilst we could, of course, prove that the PNM was corrupt under the construction of SAPA, the diplomatic center, the hospital in Tobago, landed notwithstanding, and of course the administration center in Tobago. And we can go on and on.
Hold 1 minute. Let me take this call.
In our minds.
Go ahead, caller.
Right.
Hey, Andy, it's me again. I'm calling from Orlando, but I'm enjoying your program. Anyhow, the point I make was that in order to be a part of something, you have to join it. You have to be in it. You cannot stay from the outside, Abdullah them, and then want to criticize. Himself, you are a small piece of the pie, very, very small. So, so what the callers calling, they got to understand the bigger issue is here. For I to be a member of a club, I have to join the club. I cannot talk on the outside. Then when I get into the club, then you help, you push yourself to get where you have a lot of more say than other people. So the callers have to understand that.
And then you make the changes necessary.
When you're inside, you can't make changes when you're outside. You can't paint that wall from the inside wall. You have to be inside the wall, the room to paint the inside wall. You know
Yes,
what I mean?
man. And I want to thank you for introducing that discussion. Yeah. So you're quite right, sir.
Yeah, you cannot be painting the inside wall from outside. How are you going to do that? How are you going to say something when you're in the outside? How can I talk about another club if I'm not a member of that club? Them guys.
So correct.
Yeah, that come Andy, like the fellow with the marbles. He bring the marbles. They playing pitch. Somebody winning. He take up all the marbles and go.
Yeah, so the callers have to understand. Listen, I'll be down there soon. We're there to fight for a cause, man. I told my family to fight for a cause. You have to be in. You got to join. You got to give your little membership fees, and that's what we do here. We give money to the Democrat Party here because we want the Democrat Party.
Yeah, that is cowardice. That is cop out. That is cop out. That is weakness. Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I'm a Democrat in America. I don't like Biden because I need to put younger people. But you know what? I'd rather he than having a rapist and a criminal power. That's what I'm telling you. The man proved that he's no good for America. So why would we want to support that? We already no good for Trinidad. Why we want to support that? I'll talk to you later, my friend. Bye.
All right.
Yes, man. He ended on an angry note, boy. So So Mikey, Andy, that's it.
Yes. Let me look to wrap up.
All right, okay then. Well, I will cut off.
Look out,
at this point.
I have to talk to you, very important, so look out after the program.
Yeah. I have a hectic day today, but we'll see what can happen. All right.
What happen? Oh boy.
Yes.
Trinidad and Tobago, after God, family comes first. Be safe on the nation roads. Yes, until tomorrow morning, please God, same time, same place. Your favorite program, The Ground Report. 69, we are out of here. Thanks so much again for making us your number one.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith. The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
My name is Renison Jeffrey, and today I'm here to announce that we will be airing Ground Report program on our platform on YouTube, Workers' Rights 868, from 6 to 9 on our weekdays. Tune in and be informed. My name is Renison Jeffrey, and today I'm here to announce that we will be airing Ground Report program on our platform on YouTube, Workers' Rights 868, from 6 to 9 on our weekdays. Tune in and be informed. My name is Renison Jeffrey, and today I'm here to announce that we will be airing Ground Report program on our platform on YouTube, Workers' Rights 868, from 6 to 9 on our weekdays. Tune in and be informed. My name is Renison Jeffrey, and today I'm here to announce that we will be airing Ground Report program on our platform on YouTube, Workers' Rights 868, from 6 to 9 on our weekdays. Tune in and be informed. My name is Renison Jeffrey, and today I'm here to announce that we will be airing Ground Report program on our platform on YouTube, Workers' Rights 868, from 6 to 9 on our weekdays. Tune in and be informed.
In a community that has been pretty rampant for the past couple of days, which is the dengue viral illness. As the word suggests, it is a viral illness, but it's not a virus that we should take for granted. Okay, so I wanted to educate you guys a little bit more about the dengue viral symptoms and treatment and prevention. Some of you all may know these things that I'm going to talk about already, but it's just to reinforce and emphasize how important it is to monitor yourself. So let's go into it. So dengue, it is a virus, as we mentioned before. It's particularly a type of virus called flavivirus, and it is transferred from one person to the next via an insect vector called the Aedes aegypti mosquito. Because it's very difficult to eradicate the mosquito, this can happen any part of our community and population. So the warning signs, or let's go into the symptoms first. Symptoms can range from fever. Fever can be intermittent, it can be constant. Headaches, body pains, joint pains, nauseousness or vomiting, abdominal pains, retroorbital pains, which is pains are behind the eyes. Some people say around the eyes as well. And also even diarrhea. Now, keep in mind that you don't have to have all these symptoms to make the diagnosis of dengue. You can have one or two symptoms out of all the symptoms I called out. And what I have been noticing is that a lot of people are complaining of just fever, not necessarily constant, but intermittent, and also body pains, joint pains, and just fatigue, a very fatigued feeling. So with that in mind, if you are experiencing any of those symptoms, I would strongly advise you to not just take it for granted and think it's just the flu. Do go get tested. Make sure that your CBC platelet count is normal and that you're not tested positive for dengue. Of course, you can get these testings done at your health center, at your hospital, or at your private GP. Now, management. Control your fever. Of course, you take your Panadol or Panadol multi-symptom depending on how you're feeling every 6 to 8 hours if you have to. Tepid sponging, circulating fan in the room, and lots of fluids. Hydration is the number one important take-home remedy for when you're treating dengue viral illness. So I tell my patients, try to at least consume 1 liter of water a day or 1 liter of fluids in totality a day and more if you can. Of course, the appetite would be decreased, so you don't have to force yourself to consume a solid meal, but soft meals are great. Soups are actually perfect. If for some reason you are not able to tolerate your fluids, you are not able to tolerate your meals, you're vomiting, not keeping it down, it means that you need to go see a doctor. You may require IV fluids, administration, possibly vitamin IVs, and monitoring, depending on how low your platelet count is. So guys, important note is that you would have a couple of days with the febrile illness or fever, and then you may start to begin to feel better. Please note, when you actually feel better and you actually start to use up your energy, this is a stage where we would have noticed that the platelet count actually drastically drops. So still monitor yourself, even though you are feeling a little more energetic and better. So all in all, you will need to make sure that you're not taking these symptoms for granted, you're hydrating, and you're checking on your platelet count. If you have a GP privately, be in close relation with the GP. Make sure that you're telling them about all the symptoms you're experiencing and how you're feeling, so that the GP will be able to advise you what you should do next. Okay? Another thing that we need to talk about is prevention. Prevention, well, we want to eradicate the vector, which is the mosquito. So you want to cut down all the bushy areas. You want to make sure the storage, things that are storing water, tanks, barrels, whatever you have that may be collection sites for water, you need to secure it because that's the breeding site for the mosquitoes. Insect repellents, citronella candles, mosquito nets, you name it, you do it, because we just want to make sure that we prevent this from happening from the very beginning. Now, warning signs, guys. If you have severe fatigue, as in you cannot even get off your bed, you're confused, you're cold sweating, you are bleeding from anywhere, you need to go straight to a hospital. Do not even bother to try the health center. Please go straight to the hospital and let them know what's happening. Okay, so I hope you did find this video informative, and I hope it helps you, and I want you guys to stay safe, take all your precautionary measures, and reach out to me if you need to. If you're living in the area where I usually function, that's in San Grande, or you're close by and you need administration of IV fluids or advice or just treatment, let me know. All right, take care, bye-bye.
That was during the dry season. So you would see that there are drains like this one which I'm standing next to right here. So even in the dry season, these drains has a constant flow of water. And when we were doing our walkabout, what the residents in Egypt village told us, they would have also said that they would have spoken to their councillor and he would have tried to get the issue resolved, as there's also a WASA substation at the top of that incline there. So the point that the residents are making is that that bank you're seeing there behind James Park, that is the dam. The bank is probably some 15 feet high, and the water table from the tip of the dam to the water is probably about 2 feet. So right now, where we're standing, given the height of that dam, what the residents are saying is that this area here is actually below the water table of that dam there. And what they're complaining about is that this constant flow of water is from that dam. That is why this area is always swampy in the...
Good morning again to the people at Trinidad and Tobago. My name is Renson Jeffrey and this is the Workers' Rights Platform. Now this story, we would have aired this story specifically for you, to prime you, the people at Trinidad and Tobago, as to the show that we are going to keep later, in which we are going to discuss this thing in its entirety. Now what you would have seen there is a dengue epidemic that is in Point 14, and we would have found the source of the problem, in which we are going to broadcast live this afternoon from 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. So tune in and be a part of that discussion as we go forward with these stories this afternoon. Again, it will be myself, Sheldon Can, and Candice Edwards. The phone number is 333-2176. We will place it on the screen for you guys to see, in which you could call in and make a comment concerning what's taking place. Again, this afternoon at 7:30 p.m. till 9:30 p.m. we are going to show you the source of the problem. And with that, I am